Hi, everybody. Welcome back to yoga. It's raining. Yeah, I'm gonna need to bring the heater back in here. So, let's get warmed up. And there's no heater in here yet, so we gotta be our own heater. Maybe just a little shake and a little bounce, just gentle shake. Gentle, soft bounce. Shaking out the hips and the shoulders, the knees, the butt. Little bounce, get a soft kind of massage your lower back a little bit. Get some warmth going in that lower back. Maybe kind of rub the belly. And maybe give a little bit of a gentle tap to the chest and the shoulders. Now let's just take a couple of deep breaths in as we take the shoulders up and back and down. In, big deep inhale, exhale. Slow the shoulder circles down. Use this time as a way to kind of come into your body, come into your breath. Bring yourself to the room, to your practice. Let's go the other way. Shoulders back, up, forward, and down. Big breaths and big circles. Trying to trace the widest circle your shoulders can trace. Good. Take the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, and send the pointy finger down. Open up the chest and squeeze the glutes and look up. You can also squeeze the shoulders together, so we're getting that great chest stretch. And then release the hands and interlace them in front of you and send the palms towards me, towards your screen. Go ahead and tuck the pelvis here. Drop the scapula down the back. The shoulders are spread nice and wide. The belly button is lifting towards the spine. And scooping that pelvis, get that lower back stretch. And then pull the right hip back and send the palms over to the left. And then bring it center. And then pull the left hip back and send the palms to the right. And center. Take a nice deep breath in. I'm just going to silence my phone here. Take a deep breath in. Stretching. Opening the chest, arms reaching back, looking up, and then exhale and scoop that pelvis again as if you're pushing a big heavy boulder, and you got to get down, knees bend over your toes, chin to chest. Inhale one more time, big arch, look up, expand those arms behind you, and then contract. Push that boulder, scoop the belly button, knees over toes. And let's just do one more of these. Inhale, full body breath, and exhale, pushing that imaginary boulder, squeezing all that stale air out. Hands coming down onto your knees. Inhale, arch, look up. And exhale, round, look down. Couple more of these. Bring yourself to your practice right here. Pay attention to your body. Feel everything that's going on. So tune in to what you're doing with your body. Send your attention to the rounding of the spine, to the chin, to the chest, to the shoulders rolling forward, to the soles of your feet, rooting into the mat. Mindful embodiment right here. Couple more. Last one. Good. Go ahead and hook your hands underneath your thighs and drop your chin to your chest and pull the lower back up towards the ceiling. So we get that lower back stretch. We've all probably been sitting or walking. We need to stretch that back out. Driving also, lower back needs attention. Slowly roll up. Let's take the hands to the shoulders. Let's just do a little soft teeter-tot here. So that one elbow reaches down, the other one reaches up, and then we switch sides. And you feel that waistline contrasting and strengthening as we crunch, but also stretching on the opposite side. So let's take a nice deep breath in as we go to one side, and out as we switch to the other side. And it doesn't matter which side. Trying to match the movement with the length of the inhale and the length of the exhale. So as soon as you can't take in any more breath, the exhale begins and you begin that movement to the other side. Likewise, as soon as you're at the bottom of that exhale and you need to start the inhale, that's when the movement begins. So we connect those two paths, the breath and the body. Good. And let's come back up to center. Let's keep those hands on the shoulder. Let's squeeze the elbows together. Inhale, lift the elbows as high as you can until they separate. Trace that circle one more time, back and down. Good, try it again. Connect the elbows as soon as you can. Keep them connected as long as you can. And then when they start to separate, trace that circle with them. A couple more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Releasing those arms. Take the right hand to the left side of your head. And let the weight of the hand just kind of gently pull your right ear to your right shoulder. Activate the left hand, flex it, send the palm down into the ground. So we're creating space between our shoulder and our ear. And we have that extra weight of our hand opening up that space. Now, if you want to roll the shoulder back a little bit, see what that feels like. Maybe roll it forward. See how that changes the stretch. Let's just breathe here. 3 breaths. Good. Release that. Let's switch sides gently to the other side. When I had frozen shoulder, I had to do this and hold it for, I believe, I don't know, I think it was 3 minutes. And you realize how holding this opening stretch really does a lot. So I invite you to try holding this position for lengths of time and see how that might affect your posture or your pain if you have low upper back or shoulder pain. And release. And let's just do some really gentle head circles. We haven't done them in a while. Circling in one direction, nice and slow. And actually, if you can, close your eyes and just pay attention to where in this circle you feel the most tension, where you feel the most ease. And just kind of slow down and breathe into the tight spots. Maybe where it hurts a little bit, you can send a little just compassion, a little breath of compassion, a little love. And then go in the other direction. Really take your time with this head circle. I always think about the head circles we used to do in middle school PE, when we would just whack our heads around 3 times one way and 3 times the other. And this is not your junior high PE head circle. One more. Paying attention to all those little pops, all those little crunchy places, just sending a little exhale towards them. Good. Let's send the right foot off the ground in front of us. Flex the foot and just test our balance with a little ankle circle. One direction and then the other direction. Keep switching, testing your balance so your core wants to be nice and lifted. Shake that out. Try the other side. Relaxing that foot. And you want your standing leg rooted and lengthened. You don't want that knee locked. Yeah. Cool. This side is way more bouncy than the other side. And shake that leg out. Good. Let's take the feet a little wider. And let's take a nice knee bend. Left knee right over the toes. And we're going to just reach that right arm over and find that diagonal line from the fingertip of the right hand down to the pinky side of that right foot. Find that diagonal line. Now straighten that left leg and see if you can maintain that stretch. Open up the chest and look under the armpit. Drop the shoulder down the back. Good. Go ahead and bend that left knee again. And then round the shoulder forward all the way down. Heavy head and heavy shoulders. Coming down even deeper, bending that knee a little bit more. Place the hands on the floor in front of your left foot. See how you feel that nice inner thigh stretch. And then again, lengthen that left leg, keeping your hands in front of the left foot, and see if you can send your nose towards the left knee. Walking your hands center, bending the knees over the toes, slowly vertebrae by vertebrae, rolling through the spine, coming up. Bending the right knee over the right toe, taking the left arm up and over, finding that long line from fingertip to pinky side of the left foot. Go ahead. Open up the chest. See if you can look underneath the armpit. Drop the shoulder. And then let's lengthen that right leg. See if you can hold that stretch. A long, luscious stretch of that side body. Bending the knee again. Rounding that left shoulder down. And heavy head. Shake it out. Drop the torso down towards the mat, hands to the floor. Get that, send the booty back, the pelvis back, so you get that inner thigh stretch on the left side. And then when you're ready, lengthen that leg again, keeping the hands in front of the right toe, and send the nose to the right knee. And then walking the hands center, Bending the knees over the toes and rolling vertebrae by vertebrae all the way up. And let's just do a few dynamic body rolls. So we're gonna go arch on the way down and round on the way up. Now we did a little bit of cat-cow, but I want to just take this a little bit more full body. So arms up, we're gonna arch as we bend the knees over the toes, dropping the torso down and then rounding as we come up and lift the arms. Let's take it a little faster. Exhale and inhale and exhale and inhale. Exhale down as you arch and bend those knees. Inhale up as you unravel yourself. One more time down and one more time up. Good. Let's just go right into a crescent pose on the left side. So the left leg is forward. We're just going to find our crescent right here. Make sure your feet are not on the same line. So you're not on a tightrope. Your feet are on parallel lines. Find that crescent. Good. Let's take the hands down to the mat. So which takes us into a nice runner's lunge. Go ahead and rock forward and back right here. Dropping the knee and tucking the toe. Take the left hand to the left knee. Push the knee away from your torso and roll onto the pinky side of that left foot as you push the knee away and look up. Giving that gorgeous groin stretch. Bringing it back into parallel. Take the hands onto the knee and then inhale and take the arms all the way up. Feeling this psoas stretch or the front of the hip joint right there. Breathe here. If you want, you can open up the arms and place the hands on your lower back, fingertips facing down. And keep that elbows pointing behind you, opening up the chest a little deeper. And then when you're ready, hands to the mat, coming back into the lunge. Let's do a little twist here. Take that left arm up and paying attention to the inner thighs reaching towards each other and the heel of the front foot stamping down into the mat, activating those legs. Breathe. And coming right back to that runner's lunge, and then getting ready to reverse right back up into that crescent pose that we started with, and then turning back to front in our pyramid stretch with our feet nice and wide. Go ahead and bring the heels in, and let's just take a nice sumo squat here for a minute. The elbows go into the knees. Hands are in prayer. Chest is lifted. And then if you can, push into the floor and come to standing. And then we'll go on to the other side. So we're going to take the right foot forward. Left heel comes off the ground. And we come into crescent pose with the right leg forward. Make all those micro adjustments that you know you need to make, whatever those are. Back of the knee lengthened, right knee over the ankle, shoulders down. And when you're ready, hands come down to the mat. We're going to drop that knee, untuck the toe. The left hand stays on the mat. The right hand pushes the right knee away as you arch and look up. Coming back to parallel, take both hands on top of that right thigh, and then take both arms all the way up for that delicious hip stretch. Hands come down to the mat. We tuck that back toe and lift the knee off the mat, sending the right arm up for that spinal twist in our lunge, activating the inner thighs towards each other and the heel of the right foot into the mat. Looking down, hands come to the mat. Prepare yourself. Use your core. Lift your torso right back up to that crescent pose. Turn your feet forward. Come back to pyramid. And let's bring those heels in one more time. Dropping down into sumo. Hands are in prayer position. And if you can, push into the floor to bring yourself up. Good. Let's widen the arms out and lift the heels off the mat for star. Feel the lightness of this pose. You can almost imagine yourself as a star floating up there. Using your focal point to steady your gaze. And then when you're ready, dropping into goddess. Good. We're going to take the hands up to our head here in goddess. And we're just going to do another teeter tot. One elbow drops, inhale. The other elbow drops, exhale. 3 sets. Coming back to center, hands to prayer, and press. Let's come into star one more time. Heels lift off the ground, arms go out. Find the length. And right back into goddess. And we're gonna actually try to lift the right heel off the mat here. Hold for 1 breath. And lower. Lifting the left heel, 1 breath. And lower. And lifting both heels and 1 breath. Ooh, coming down and then right back into star. Find your star. Lifting those heels off the mat. And release, shake it out. Ooh, that was a good warm up. I feel warm, didn't need a heater. Okay. Socks on my feet. Definitely helped with the warming up. It's time to get a little bit more grip on the mat and put my hair up. All right, let's do our pranayama. 20 breaths. Marking the end of our warm-up. Inhale, looking up, reaching up. Exhale, bringing the hands through heart center, 20 breaths. Whenever you're ready, begin. 3 more. Last one, interlace the fingers in a way that doesn't feel natural. Send the palms to the ceiling. Walk the shoulders up the ladder one at a time. Right, left, right, left, right, left. Keep that expanse as you expand and spread those fingers wide. And let's just go right into tree, find your tree. And keep that length in your waistline, in your rib cage. Yogi's choice where you want to put your arms. Try the other side. Knitting that rib cage so you don't sort of splay out the pelvis or the ribs. Everything's stacked. If you find yourself gripping the floor, see if you can spread your foot out a little bit. Good. All right. Let's come to the back of our mats. We're gonna do, let's just do a roll down. So starting in mountain, palms forward, shoulders lift back, belly lifted. We're gonna inhale. On the exhale, we let the chin drop to the chest. And then as we roll the shoulders forward, the palms twist back. Then we allow the upper back to kind of drop and the head and the arms become heavy. Then the mid back, then the low back. Then we start to bend at the waistline. We're gonna start to bend the knees now, heavy torso. We're gonna let the knees track right over the toes until we get into a tiny little ball with weight in our hands on the mat. Lift the belly button. Find that curve in the spine. We're gonna go from this tight curve and we're gonna shoot the head forward into plank. Find your plank. Big breath in plank. What we tend to do in plank is lift the butt up. So go ahead and check yourself. Check yourself in your image on the screen. Let's roll forward, pushing the shoulders just forward over the fingertips and then heels back, forward heels, back heels. One more time, forward and back. Drop the knees, untuck the toes, and let's just do a few push-ups. 3 right here, very easy. 2 and 3. Good. Back into plank, and then booties up for down dog. Go ahead and recover here in down dog. Treading the feet if you want. Pressing the heels down one at a time. Stretching those calves out. And then find your way into a nice solid down dog. Breathe. And then again, scooping the belly, the pelvis, the low back, rolling vertebrae by vertebrae, coming in to plank. Right here, we're gonna test ourselves. Can you take your right hand and touch your left shoulder? What about your left hand to your right shoulder? Maintaining that plank. One more time. Tap and tap. There may be some shifts there. No big deal. Coming back into down dog. Breathe. 3 is the magic number. We're gonna roll the spine back to plank. And this time, we're gonna lift the right heel, the right leg off the mat. And switch, left. And switch, one more time. Right. And switch, and left. And switch, knees down. Push the booty back to the heels. And rest, surrender. Coming up onto all fours. Kickstand the left heel back. Stack the right hip on top of the left. And come onto your left arm, lifting the right leg off the mat and bringing the right arm all the way up and over. Finding that line from fingertip to toe. Take a couple breaths here. And then pushing off that hand, coming up to vertical. Let's do a nice stretch in gate pose. And then let's swing that arm back down and come all the way up one more time. And then pushing up, stretch, and down, and lengthen. Last time, up and over, and down, and out. Right here, we're gonna do 3 crunches, elbow to knee. Exhale, 1, 2, and 3. Complete the extension, drop the foot, bring that heel back around, and this time open up the knees and come into prayer. Surrender, breathe, release. Coming back onto all fours. I'm gonna switch around so you can see me. We're gonna kickstand the right heel behind us, stack the left hip on top of the right, lift that leg off the mat, and find that extension. Now I'm pushing my pelvis forward slightly. Woo! That makes a difference. Come up and do that nice flow in the gate. I may have cut that a little short. We're gonna have to go back and hold that a little longer. All right, find it. Ooh. Yeah. And then plant that foot, toes forward. Low the right arm up and over, looking under the armpit. Back down. And back up. And last time, we're going to do our 3 crunches here. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. And bring that foot back down to the mat. Kickstand that heel back around. Let's bring the knees back. And let's actually push forward and bring the hand, push back into child's pose, taking the hands down to the heels and grabbing them. You can even send the top of the head to the mat And maybe lift the lower back a little bit towards the ceiling. And release. All right, a couple more core exercises. We're gonna come into a half plank. So we're on our elbows, on our forearms. Find your half plank. You may want your feet about a foot apart. All we're gonna do is twist the right hip and tap the mat, and then twist the left hip and tap the mat. So we inhale, and then exhale. Inhale, twist, exhale, twist. Inhale, twist, exhale, twist, and we're done. Actually, you know what? Well, first come in to a little child's pose, and then tuck those toes, and let's come into dolphin. So our forearms are still on the mat. It's like a half down dog. Good. Drop those knees, and then let's rotate onto the left side of our body. We're still on our forearm. We're gonna do a side plank. You can have your top foot in front of your bottom, or you can have them stacked. So here we are. You can start with your hand on your hip, pressing the hips off the mat, and then lifting that arm. Obviously, stacking the feet is more challenging because you don't have such a wide base. Coming down when you need to come down. If you want to try it again with a different foot position, just to see what that feels like, try that. Woo. Yeah, swing those legs forward. We'll do the other side in a minute. Shake out the legs. Shake them out. Give them a little rub down. And bring the soles of the feet together. And we'll just do a little butterfly here. Sending the elbows into the knees. Whew. Releasing those hips. That feels good after those side planks. All right, let's get the other side done. We're on our right forearms. I'm gonna stack my feet for my first one because I have more energy on that first one. Hand to the hip. We're gonna press the pelvis off the mat and then lift that arm. Looking up towards the ceiling. If that hurts your neck, you can always look down. If you need a little extra padding underneath your elbow, you can roll your mat one time to give yourself a little extra padding. Come down. Do the same thing again, or try a different configuration for your feet. I'm gonna do top foot in front of the other. I like to exhale as I push up, and then 3 breaths in the pose. And recover. Swing those legs around in front of you, shake them out. Soles of the feet together. Butterfly. This time, if you want, grab your feet and connect the pinky sides of your feet and open up your feet like you're opening a book. Send those knees to the mat. Beautiful. Go ahead and lift those knees gently. And let's roll back onto all fours, tucking the toes, coming into down dog. Say hello to your down dog. Oh. Nice big sigh. All right, inhale, lifting that right leg and then sending it forward. Drop the back heel and let's come up into warrior one. Find your warrior one. Make your adjustments. All right, now can you open your arms and twist towards, so you're in a sort of spinal twist. So if my right leg is forward, my left arm is forward. And then come back. Warrior one, looking up, chest lifted towards where the ceiling meets the wall. And then open those arms, splitting one more time into that twist. Woo! Yeah. And then back up. Let's straighten that front leg. What I want to try and do from here is twist to where we were before with straight legs, and then do a little tilt, a little teeter-tot, and then back up. And then maybe we can return to our warrior one for a little rest. Straighten that leg, open up the arms, twist, and then using the core, tap the ankle with that left fingertip. Come back up, and then drop the arm and swing it through. Warrior one. Last time. Lengthen that front leg as you open and twist the torso. Use your core, teeter-tot, twisted triangle, tap, and then swing that arm down. Lift that back heel for a moment, and let's step together into mountain. Whew. Why is that so hard? I haven't done it in a while. Take a nice deep breath. Let's do a flow just to kind of flush the body. So inhale, look up, exhale, dive through, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, back down. Inhale, step the feet back into down dog. And we find ourselves back in down dog. Breathe here. 3 breaths. All right, gotta do the other side. Lift the left leg. Inhale and swing it through. Drop the back heel. Come up to warrior one. Opposite side. Three breaths. All right, right here in warrior one, we're just gonna twist, opening, twisting the body, and then coming right back up. So only the upper body moves from warrior one into a twisted warrior one. Right back up. Last time. Right arm comes forward, left arm goes back. I'm looking over the back shoulder, and then I come up. Now we're gonna lengthen that front leg. Twist across the body, and we're gonna try that little teeter-tot. So we're tapping the inside of the ankle with the fingers, and then coming right back to warrior one. Lengthening and twisting, lengthening the front leg as we twist the torso. Feet are taut. Come back up. Warrior one, last set. Lengthen, twist, tip, recover. Wow. Lift that back heel, come into crescent, step forward, mountain, and we'll do one last flush through here. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, dive. Down to forward fold. Hang out there for a second. Shake it out. Shake out the head and the neck and the shoulders and the booty. Sigh it out. Halfway up for your inhale. Halfway back down for your exhale. Inhale, step back to down dog. Exhale, down dog. 3 breaths. Go ahead and lift that right leg up in the air. Swing it through and let's come into pigeon. We're gonna hang out in pigeon, which I really rarely ever do. It's not one of my favorite poses, which means I should probably do it more. So our lower leg from our knee to our toe is striving to be parallel with the front of our mat. I don't know very many people who can do pigeon with their lower leg completely parallel to the top of their mat, but that's what we're kind of rooting for. We're gonna take a nice deep breath here. As we look up, hands are nicely pressed into the mat. And as we exhale, we're gonna come down onto our forearms and maybe rest our forehead on the mat. And if that is deep enough for you, stay here. But if you want, you can actually extend the arms completely and release into a very deep hip opener. You can also, if you want, come onto your left forearm and do a little twist with your hand on your lower back, looking over that right shoulder. In pigeon. And then when you're ready, slowly walk the pelvis forward, come back up onto your palms. Take a nice deep breath in. And on the exhale, send that leg back to down dog. Breathe in down dog. Inhale, send the left leg up in the air and swing it through. Walk your pelvis back. See if you can maybe move, like pick up your lower leg and kind of inch it forward. And then untuck that toe. Come on down onto your forearms. This may be challenging enough. You can inch the elbows forward and drop the head. And then if you really feel ready, you can lengthen the arms. Focus on your breath. If you want to do that little twist, come up to your forearms and then just give yourself a little twist over your left shoulder. Oh, that's intense. Walk the pelvis forward by tucking the toe and kind of walking the knee forward. Send the legs back. I just naturally kind of came into dolphin one more time. And then when you're ready, bring yourself all the way around to seated position. And we'll just send the legs forward. Go ahead and lift the booty muscles away from the sits bones and let's flex those feet. Inhale, lengthening out of your pelvis, out of your waistline. Exhale, we're gonna fold like a piece of paper right at the hip joint. And we're gonna try and just lay the torso down on the legs. If you can grab your heels from the outside of the foot, wonderful. If not, lay the hands on the shins or on the mat outside each leg. Try to have a heavy torso and just breathe. Let the exhale do the work for you. Good. Slowly, slowly, slowly coming out of that, laying down on the back, hugging the knees to the chest. Let's circle the knees to the right, massaging that lower back on the mat, to the left. Taking out those legs. Feet flat on the floor. Let's just take a very simple bridge. Inhale, exhale, scooping the pelvis off the mat, sending the pelvis up. See if you can get it a little higher and a little higher. And then when you think that you've gone as high as you can, let's take the arms up above the head, flat on the floor, so the palms are facing up towards the ceiling, and then see how much room that gives you to send the pelvis even higher. And really hold those glutes. I'm shaking, are you? Two more breaths. Before you bring your pelvis down, bring your arms down. And then vertebrae by vertebrae, bring your torso back down to the mat. Good. Let the knees fall to the right and to the left. Windshield wiper knees. Go ahead and stack the right leg on top of the left. So the right ankle is on the left thigh. Bring that left foot off the mat. So you're getting a little bit of a hip opener, but then I want you to let the knee, the left knee and the right foot fall to the left side. And then bring your right hand up on the diagonal. Looking at your right hand, use your left hand to push the right knee away. Do you feel that space that you're creating in the lower back and in that hip joint? I feel some pops and cracks in my spine. And then coming back to center, using your core muscles, unhook that ankle, shake it out, and then place the left ankle on top of the right knee. Bring that right foot off the ground and let everything fall to the left. Slowly. Looking over the left shoulder, palm down. Push the left knee away from the torso. There's all sorts of crackles and pops going on here. I hope they're feeling good for you. Using your core, bring the legs back to center. Unhook, shake, shake, shake. Grab the outside of the feet and see if you can come into happy baby. If you can't grab the outside of your feet, grab your ankles and flex those feet. See if you can get that lower back flat on the ground. If you want to do a little rock side to side here, that should feel really yummy. Release those legs, lengthen everything out onto the mat. Inhale, hold your breath, squeeze everything, face, shoulders, ribcage, core, glutes, legs, toes, and release. Swallow, remove the tongue from the roof of the mouth, stick it out and say, ah. Bring yourself into Shavasana or corpse pose, and we will honor the work we've done today with a little deep relaxation. And of course, you're welcome to stay in Shavasana for as long as you want. That's the best part of the yoga class. Otherwise, we'll close in a seated position with hands at heart center. Grateful for this rain and for the sound of it on the rooftops. And I invite you to spend a few more minutes today, if you can, listening to the natural world around us. Cleansing, refreshing. We need this. And we need our yoga practice as well. Good job showing up for yourself. And as always, the spirit in me salutes the spirit in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for coming.